I'm Brian Wilson alongside Larry O'Connor.
They don't mind having big government to interfere with a woman's right to choose and to try to take down Planned Parenthood. They're fine with big government when it comes to that. I'm sick of it. You know, we can do these things. We should not be paralyzed. We should not be paralyzed by the Republicans and their constant refrain, big government this, big government that, except for what they want to impose on the American people. I know we can afford it because we're going to make the wealthy pay for it. That is the way to get it done.
Wow, that was Hillary Clinton responding to criticisms about mandatory family leave and other big government programs that the Democrats were all just so excited about spending money on yesterday. And her response to, the question as to whether, these big government programs work, her response was to scream at the top of her lungs about abortion. By the way, asking to get the government out of funding Planned Parenthood is not an intrusion of big government on anyone's lives. It's the removal, but that's just my own observation. Let's ask Amanda Carpenter. Of course, she of Conservative Review and also a CNN analyst. Amanda, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Amanda, good morning.
Hey, of course, good morning. Yeah, wasn't that weird how Hillary was yelling so much?
Yeah.
I was really taken aback by that because Hillary wasn't attacked by anyone, and yet she was as hostile as I've seen her in a while.
That's very interesting.
My observation, I did observe that, but at the same time, Amanda, I thought, listen, she had very specific target audience, and that was the establishment Democrats and the people who have supported her and given a lot of money who are worried about her polls and worried that her performance so far has been pretty weak. I thought she played to that crowd, and I thought she actually gave them what they needed, which is a pretty strong performance.
Yeah, I mean, she showed them that she's capable, that she's not going to back down, no one's going to push her around. And without a doubt, she won the debate. But I can't help but think that the competition was pretty poor.
Yeah.
No one on the stage went after her on any issue. That's not a debate. It's a DNC pep rally. I mean, Bernie Sanders essentially hugged her and declared truth on her most vulnerable issue. So, I'm really excited to see her get the nomination and have a Republican go after her because we've seen from the debate last night, no Democrat has the guts to do it.
Did anybody else make any points as far as you're concerned last night? Because, I thought that if you look at some of the metrics out there, you could make the case that Bernie Sanders resonated well.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie Sanders exceeded my expectations.
When I say resonated well, I mean resonated well with Democrats, not necessarily the rest of the nation. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think he commanded the stage. I thought early, the first 10 minutes of the debate, wow, Bernie Sanders really kind of has this. But he's been saying the same stuff for the last 40 years. People who like him are going to keep liking him. People like Hillary are going to keep liking Hillary. I don't see anything changing from this debate, except for I think maybe more Republicans like Jim Webb.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Amanda Carpenter's our guest.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, are you there? I'm sorry. Amanda Carpenter is our guest, and you mentioned how you can't wait for a Republican to go at it with Hillary Clinton. Well, looking at the Republican field and seeing Hillary Clinton's debate style now and what she's going to try to emphasize, who do you think out of the Republicans matches up well with her? I think it's a fair question at this point.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I was expecting more of a foreign policy debate. I felt like we were getting that previewed a little bit more, and there really wasn't much discussion of it. I'm going to go through the transcript. I don't think anyone really mentioned radical Islamic terrorism except for a few mentions of ISIS here and there, a little bit of Syria.
Islamic, the word Islamic was never mentioned, radical or otherwise.
Yeah, and so I found that stunning. When people were asked the biggest threat to the nation, you got a little bit of discussion of nuclear weapons, climate change, but not the obvious radical Islamic terrorism, people that are targeting the homeland as we speak. I thought that was remarkable. So someone who's willing to go after in foreign policy, I think that naturally plays Rubio at the moment. But, she is a tough debater. It's hard to knock her off the game, but she is so prone to being hostile. I think if someone challenges her, she could lose it just because she isn't used to being challenged by anyone within her Clinton bubble of, yes men and women. So anyone who's willing to go after her in a forceful way on the issues, I think will match up very well.
Were you disappointed, as I was, that Anderson Cooper didn't stick to his line of questioning about emails?
Well, he mentioned it, but I do think people were expecting another candidate to bring it up a little bit. I wasn't expecting Bernie Sanders to declare truce on the issue. So there are more debates. I hope it will be explored more. But I was impressed with the fact, because I thought it was going to be a boring debate, like a lot of people, and he kept the momentum going very quickly. And so I think that was good. There was a good rapid pace moving through the issues. But yes, I obviously would have liked more discussion about the emails, more discussion on national security issues, and a few questions on Planned Parenthood that weren't just applause lines, because I think Hillary Clinton was the first person to bring that issue up.
Oh, yeah, she was dying to get abortion out there and Planned Parenthood out there just to get a good applause line. I don't think Anderson Cooper was going to ask that. And especially since it was in the news yesterday, Amanda Carpenter. Planned Parenthood, while everyone's focusing on the debate, they quietly announced that they will no longer receive what they called donations in exchange for fetal tissue. This is an issue that resonates.
Does that mean they were selling fetal tissue?
Well, exactly.
Well, apparently.
Yeah, something that everybody denied. Well, listen, Martin O'Malley, of course, former governor of Maryland, right here in our backyard. This was a big opportunity for him. He's been whining and complaining about the lack of debates on the Democrat side. So here it was. He had his opportunity. What did he make of it?
I think he had an okay showing. I was talking to people. I said, don't you think Martin O'Malley's going to do for a moment? And people, the Democrats, I would tell me hands down, don't get your hopes up on anything. He's oddly cerebral. He can't talk about the issues. It's not going to happen. And they were right. I think he's probably a candidate that's probably a better fit maybe 10 years ago, maybe in the John Edwards type of style. But it was fine, but he clearly can't hang with Hillary Clinton.
I got to say, I didn't live here when Martin O'Malley was running for governor of Maryland. I only lived for his last 2 years in office. But the question that I kept thinking was, how did this guy ever win? How did he win an election in Maryland? He's not a very adept politician, I think.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be much more charisma, more spunk, more spark, and it just wasn't there. And so, Hillary Clinton, the debates are going to be a walk in the park for her if they went anything like they did last night. I don't think anyone else on the stage is going to cause her any trouble. Maybe Jim Webb, if he decides to get really hostile about national security issues, which could happen. But they all really wanted to play nice. Everyone in the audience wanted a big love fest. And I think there's just such a contrast between the Democrats and the Republicans. Republicans are willing to challenge each other, to debate issues and ideas. And the Democrats aren't willing to do that whatsoever. And so I think they're just going to be utterly unprepared for a general election because of that.
All right, Amanda Carpenter, we've got to leave it there. But good morning. We'll rise and shine. Thanks for joining us. It was good to have you.
Thank you.